Hello students, let's continue with Science 1, Chapter 3, Chemical Reaction and Equation, Part 2. In today's part, we will be studying about the different types of chemical reactions. Okay students, so today we will be doing about the types of chemical reactions. There are majorly four types of reactions which we are doing. So let's start with the first one. I have placed some examples over here. I want you all to observe each example, compare all the three examples, and then we shall move forward. Yes, if you can see, each reaction is, I have color coded in three different colors: green, blue, and the last one is reddish. In each reaction, green and blue are written as, if I write it in terms of A and B notation, it is nothing but green is represented as A, blue color represented as B, and the final product is nothing but together, so that is AB. So my general reaction I can write is nothing but A plus B giving me AB. So when I study each of the reaction, the first reaction, calcium oxide, that is CaO, plus water, that is H2O. When I react this to reactant, my product is calcium hydroxide, that is both are combined together. Calcium oxide and water molecule is combined together to give me calcium hydroxide. Similarly, when I take 2Ag, that is silver, plus Br2, and I mix together or I react together, I get silver bromide, that is AgBr. Again, it is a combination because two different reactants are coming together. The last one, Fe and S, when I react together, I get ferrous sulfide. Okay, so the two, in each reaction, reaction 1, 2 and 3, two different reactants are coming together, combining to give me a product. So when two reactants come together and combine to give me a single product, those type of reactions are called as combination reaction. The word combination means coming together, combining together. Now I'll just read out the activity mentioned in your textbook. Take a small amount of hydrochloric acid in a test tube. Heat the test tube. Dip a glass rod in the ammonia solution and hold on to the top of the test tube. You will observe a white smoke emulating from the tip of the glass rod. Now what they have taken in a test tube, they have taken HCl solution and they have heated it. Since they have heated it, you will get to see some HCl vapors coming out. Similarly, when they dip the glass rod in NH3, that is ammonia, again ammonia fumes also start coming. Now let's see the reaction. NH3 in the gaseous state, because ammonia is released in the gaseous state. Similarly, HCl, when it is heated up in the test tube, you can see HCl vapors coming, so which is in the gaseous state. HCl in the gaseous state and NH3 in the gaseous state, they combine together, and at room temperature this NH4Cl is converted into a solid. So condensation takes place. Gaseous mix together, combine, and at the room temperature condensation process happens, and you get an NH4Cl solid, which is nothing but your ammonium chloride. Now one more example which is mentioned. Hold a magnesium strip in a pair of tongs and ignite. On burning in air, a white powder of magnesium oxide is formed. Now let's see the reaction. What they have said, they take a magnesium strip and burnt in the presence of air. So in the air, oxygen is present. So this magnesium wire combines with oxygen to give you magnesium oxide power. No, sorry, powder. So combination reaction is happening. And the last one, calcium oxide, when taken in water or mixed in water, I get calcium hydroxide and a large amount of heat is generated. Okay, so calcium oxide when mixed with water, I get calcium hydroxide plus water. So again, there is a combination reaction which is taking place. So in all the above three reaction and the previous examples which I showed, two reactants are coming together, combining to give me a different product. This type of reactions are called as a combination reaction. Let's see the definition now. When two or more reactants combine in a reaction to form a single product, it is called as the combination reaction. I hope everybody has understood what is a combination reaction. Now let's do another set of reaction. Before we move forward with the reaction, let's study the following examples. First one, calcium carbonate when you heat it gives calcium oxide plus CO2 gas is evolved. This reaction was already done in the previous video when we spoke about the activities, the 5 activities. This is the first activity. So calcium carbonate will react to give me calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Second one is nothing but a common salt or NaCl. When NaCl solution is taken and a reaction happens, you will get sodium and chloride. The third one, C12H22O11 is nothing but a sugar molecule. The sugar molecule when heated, I will get 12 carbon atoms plus 11 water molecule. Now, if you see in all the above reactions, the general reaction can be written as AB on reacting will give you two different products, that is A plus B. So, a single AB molecule or the reactant on reaction gives me two different products, that is A plus B. So, there is a decomposition taking place here. Here there is no combination but breaking up taking place. And when a single reactant on reaction gives me two different products, those type of reactions are called as decomposition reaction. Few more examples I have given you all. Now let's see those examples in the next slide. This is the general equation which is written. AB breaks up to give you A plus B. H2CO3 in the aqueous state will react to give me water in the liquid state plus carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, H2SO3 again breaks up to give you water plus sulfur dioxide. NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide, on reaction will give you water plus ammonia gas. So single reactant is dividing to give you two different components. So such type of reactions are called as decomposition reaction. This is the example mentioned in your textbook. 2H2O in the liquid, that is hydrogen peroxide. So what happens to hydrogen peroxide? It undergoes slow decomposition. Now what is slow decomposition? It does not take place at a quick time. It slowly undergoes, a lot of time it takes, and it is decomposed into water molecules and oxygen gas is released. One more thing, this is nothing but water molecule on electrolysis. This process is called as electrolysis process. So water molecule divides on when electrical energy is provided to it, it gives you hydrogen and oxygen. We have already studied about this electrolysis process in the previous class. Okay. So when I pass electrical energy through water molecule, the decomposition takes place and I get hydrogen gas and oxygen gas released. So there is a water molecule dividing into hydrogen and oxygen gas. Now let's see the definition. The chemical reaction in which two or more products are formed from a single reactant is called as a decomposition reaction. So in decomposition reaction, a single reactant will give me two or more products. And in combination reaction, two or more reactants will give me one product. Please pay attention the difference between combination and decomposition reaction. In combination reaction, two or more reactants come together and give you one product. But in decomposition reaction, one reactant will give you two or more product. Now the third type of reaction. Again, we have studied about this reaction in the previous video. CuSO4 plus Zn giving you ZnSO4 plus Cu. CuSO4, when I react with Zn, what happens here is that Zn and SO4 combine together to give me zinc sulfate and Cu is displaced. Okay, so here one of the two, out of the two reactant, one reactant displaces the other one and combines with that reactant. One more example, Zn plus H2S will give you H2 plus ZnS. So Zn is displacing hydrogen and it is combining with sulfur. So you get zinc sulfide and hydrogen is displaced. So in a reaction, when two reactants are there, out of the two reactants, one of them will displace the another one and combine is called as your displacement reaction. Now if you can see here, FeS, that is Fe, that is silver color, is in solid, and you have CuSO4. Now what happens, Fe will come and displace Cu and it will combine with SO4 to give you FeSO4. So this is the general reaction which is written, A plus BC. So what happens, A will displace B and combine with AC. So AC is combined and B is displaced. So that is why it is called as a single displacement reaction or just displacement reaction. Now let's see the definition. The reaction in which the place of the ion of a less reactive element in a compound is taken by another more reactive element by formation of its own ion is called as the displacement reaction. So A or any single atom or ion which is present, it has to be more powerful or more reactive then the another one, so that the displacement reaction takes place. Okay, so the less reactive one will be displaced and it will be taken up by the more reactive ion. Now the next type of reaction, CuCl2 plus 2Ki. Now what happens over here? Cu will combine with iodine, that is I, and Cl2 will combine with K to give you Cu2, which is a precipitate copper iodide, and 2KCl, that is potassium chloride. One more reaction, AgNO3, when you react with NaCl, you will get Ag will combine with Cl and Na will combine with NaNO3 to give you AgCl precipitate plus NaNO3. BaS plus ZnSO4. Now here Ba will combine with SO4 and S will combine with Zn to give you BaSO4 precipitate plus zinc sulfide, ZnS. K2CrO4 plus BaSO4, your K2 will combine with SO4 and Ba will combine with CrO4 to give you K2SO4 plus BaCrO4. Now if I ask you, what comparison do you find in this equation and the one which we did in the single displacement? In single displacement, only one of them were getting connected or they were combining and one atom or ion was getting displaced. Here if you see, both are combining together and a product is always a precipitate formation is taking place. Now let's see one more example of the displacement reaction, that is double displacement, neutralization of acid and base, that is when NaCl reacts with NaOH, I get NaCl plus water molecule. So there is a double displacement taking place. OH will react with OH will combine with H to give you water molecule and Na will combine with Cl to give you salt, that is common salt NaCl. So the general reaction AD plus BC will give you A combines with C and B combines with D. So the definition now, the reaction in which the ions in the reactant are exchanged to form a precipitate are called as a double displacement reaction. Here both the ions are exchanged and a precipitate is formed. So this is a definition of the double displacement reaction. Okay students, so we are finished with four major types of reactions. So the first one is nothing but a combination reactions where two or more reactants combine to give you a single product. Second one is a decomposition reaction in which one reactant decomposes to two different products. Third one is a displacement reaction in which the more reactive ion displaces the less reactive ion. And in double displacement reaction, the two ions displace each other and a precipitation is formed. These are the four major types of reactions in this chapter. There are further two types which we are going to study now. These are related to the parameter of heat. Like in the previous one when we were doing about the chemical reaction The parameters such as temperature and pressure are important for a chemical reaction to be performed. Temperature among them is the most important. We have already studied about this example. When I take ice and I keep it outside, the temperature is definitely increasing. So when there is an increase in the temperature, solid ice will turn into liquid water. Similarly, when I decrease the temperature or reduce the heat, the liquid state of water will turn into solid ice. So heat is absorbed and given away in various processes and reaction. Either there is giving away of heat energy or absorbing of heat energy. Depending on this, we are going to further classify the reaction as endothermic and exothermic. These two reactions are only on the basis of heat. They are classified on the basis of heat. Here are some examples now. Now, if you see in all the three examples, what is common is that heat is a byproduct. It is coming in the form of a product. That means it is given out. When I take magnesium and oxygen, that is magnesium oxide reaction is happening, heat is evolved. Similarly, methane when combines with oxygen, so I get carbon dioxide, water, and again heat is evolved. NaOH plus HCl gives you NaCl plus water plus heat is evolved. So in all the three reactions, if you see, heat is a byproduct and it is always evolved. So when heat is given out, those type of reaction are called as exothermic reaction. So the definition is quite simple. A reaction during which heat is given out. So it is evolved as a byproduct, it is given out. Those type of reactions are called as your exothermic reaction. If you can see in that picture also over the image, as a moment he adds a small piece into the beaker, he can see fumes coming out. Those fumes are nothing but heat energy is evolved, and this type of reaction are called as the exothermic reaction. Now here if you see, again now observe the three reactions. Now if you see here, the heat is on the reactant side. When the heat is on the reactant side, that means for a chemical reaction to take place, I have to provide heat. That means my reactants will absorb the heat. So the moment the reactants absorb the heat, those type of reactions are called as endothermic reactions. In endothermic reaction can be said as those reactions which require heat to perform. So when I increase the temperature or heat energy supplied to a reactant to form or to perform a reaction, those type of reactions are called as the endothermic reaction. For example, the first example KNO3, that is potassium nitrate with water. When I provide heat, that time I get a potassium nitrate aqueous solution. Similarly, Fe2CO3 plus 3 carbon. When I provide heat to it, I will get ferric and carbon dioxide gases involved. Similarly, HgO, that is mercuric oxide, when I heat it, I get mercury and oxygen. So when the reaction I have to provide heat, those type of reactions are called as endothermic reaction. So endothermic reactions are the ones which absorb heat. So a reaction during which heat is absorbed is called as the endothermic reaction. If you see the example which is shown over there, it is nothing but a reaction of, the image is just moving. So barium hydroxide and ammonium chloride is taken and the reaction happens, and if you see the temperature, the reaction will absorb heat, and as the heat is absorbed, the reaction is taking place. Sometimes the reaction goes below 0 degrees Celsius also. So this is an example of the endothermic reaction. So everybody has understood that what is exothermic reaction and endothermic. Exothermic reaction, heat is evolved or given out, and in endothermic reaction the heat is absorbed. So exchange of heat in a chemical reaction takes place when heat is given away. It is called as exothermic, and when heat is absorbed or supplied to it, which is called as the endothermic reaction. Your chemical composition reaction, chemical combination, decomposition reaction, all these can be a part of the exothermic and endothermic reaction as well. CaCO3 solid, when I provide heat to it, I get calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So this is an example of your endothermic reaction, as well as your example of the decomposition reaction. So I just now explained in the previous slide, the 4 types of reaction which we do could be a part or could be an example of endothermic as well as exothermic reaction. Next one, Ca, that is calcium oxide plus water molecule. When I heat it, when I do the reaction, I get calcium hydroxide plus heat. This is an example of the combination reaction as well as exothermic reaction. Calcium oxide and water molecule, 2 different reactants combining together to give you a single calcium hydroxide. At the same time, since heat is given out, it is called as the exothermic reaction. So now let's have a quick recap of the different types of reaction we did. Majorly the 4 types of reactions which we did were combination reaction, decomposition reaction, single displacement reaction or displacement reaction, and double displacement reaction. And then we did further 2 more types, which is called as the endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction. As a homework, I want you all to identify the types of chemical reaction, and in the next video we shall be discussing those answers. Please copy it down. Last video I had given you all some equations to balance it. I hope you all have done it, and now I shall be providing the solution to it. Please cross check with yours. These are the solutions. Please cross check, and the ones who have not done it, please copy down these answers. With this, I finished the types of reaction and today's part. In the next video, we will be doing the last part of the topic, and then we shall finish the chapter 3. I hope everybody has copied the solution. I want you all to do the homework which I just gave you all, so that as I provided the solution to you all this week, I shall give you all in the next video also. Thank you.